Well, I'll get to you guys in a second. Let me get the member chat going. Uh, they're the paying people. Got to take care of them first. That's important. Let's see. I have another item here. Yeah. Okay, we got people coming on board. I hope so. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still above ground, and that's what counts. Let's see if we got YouTube going. Okay, there's one watching, and that's probably me. But it's funny, I got bumped on Instagram. They said I was lying about something, and it was really about, the headline was like, make, $4,000 a month or $3,800 a month to train, and you make money to train for a $100,000 a year job. And they said but that's real stuff. So I wrote a long letter to educate them, and I said, hey, I bet person reading this has a big student loan bill that they're trying to pay off. And you don't need a student loan. You don't have to go to college to make $100,000 a year anymore. But that's besides the point. Let's talk about the emergency money, because that's what's going on. There's going to be more problems with emergency money in the next day or two with the Milton, I think is the name. And what I see is what I see that's happening now, I see on the internet, you have all these government haters who make up lies about government money. And that's just stupid. It's more than stupid, it's immoral, I think. People are saying there's no money there. People are saying you can't get the money. People are saying we're spending money on other places when we're not helping people. I mean, that's all just nonsense. And what that's doing, to me, is preventing people who need the money from applying. So we have emergencies. There's thousands and thousands of people that are in financial trouble, big doo-doo, lost their house, lost their job, lost their car, lost everything. And so they're seeing headlines, there's no money for them for help, when in fact that's absolutely wrong. So that's why I see it is just, it's immoral. I mean, people who do things like that and want to stop people from getting help that they really need to live is just terrible. I mean, there's enough government hatred. You're allowed to hate the government. You're allowed to hate anything. But hating it now when people really need things. In other words, if you had a cure to cancer and you said, oh no, you can't get that, when you can't. I mean, isn't that immoral? So you could tell people how to get a house when they don't have it, pay their bills when they can't, get a job when they can't, and you say there's no such thing. Isn't that harmful and immoral? That's hurting people on purpose, when it's true out there and you're spreading lies that are hurtful and stop people live, killing people, right? I mean, that's obviously an ultimate result. So, I don't know if you could pin killer on these people, but I sort of feel you may be able to, because that's what's happening. If you're stopping people from getting the help to continue living, isn't that murder? Probably not in the courts, and that's why everybody says, well, it's legal. Well, shit, if it's legal, it doesn't mean it's not, it can still be immoral. That's how a country now is, it's illegal, so I won't go to jail. Yeah, shit, you won't go to jail, but people are gonna die. Or unnecessary hurt. And all these things are going to happen to people. Taking care of children that don't have food, water, and you know, I mean, that has to be immoral in my mind, and so it really is, and also, and because I learned about the government through a situation like this, the the hurricanes that are there now. My family was caught in a flood, wiped out the whole business, the whole house, the jobs. My father had a small business and wiped out everything there. And gosh, I mean, the history of everything they had. And if it wasn't for the government, man, it would have been terrible. I mean, the government was able to give them a trailer to live on, money to pay immediate bills, and that's what's available now. It still is. So these aren't new programs. These are programs that living in America, everybody had access to, no matter who you are. You know, and that's what led me to try to educate more people about these programs. I saw what it did, you know, to my family and all my neighbors, you know, that we couldn't do ourselves. I mean, and we voted for these programs. Maybe you didn't vote it for directly, and maybe you don't think you should, but they're there, and they help people in time of need, and that's what is most important. And if we have a program's time of need, and I think you're immoral by telling people it's not there when they need it the most. You can't feed your children. You can't live in a house. You can't pay the rent. Because of a disaster, you know, that happened to us. If you went to war, you know, this is what we do as a community. We decide we have these programs. We decide we have a military. So if somebody you know, invades us, we have a military that help us. And if you said, no, don't help us, let these suckers invade us and kill us all, right? Sounds immoral to me. So this is weather doing this, so it's not a person. Why is this any different? You know, and why don't people realize that? By saying that and spreading these lies, they're hurting their neighbors. We all live in this country together, no matter where you are, whatever, you're a neighbor, right? And so if you want to hurt your neighbor, you know, I mean, God, I don't want to live there, do you? You know, if you have your neighbor just waking up every morning, how can I screw you over? I mean, you know, that's just, you know, mean and hurtful and not not a loving place to be. I mean, sure, you can't love people all the time or whatever, man, but here, this isn't loving. This is just humanity. If you can't be human, and you rather be killing people yourself by your actions or your words or whatever, I mean, it's just absolutely immoral. I mean, I'm not a philosopher or a priest or any of those things could actually describe what is immoral. Just listen to my heart, and it seems immoral to me, and we should not encourage immorality in any way. You know, I mean, it may be legal. They could say those things, may be legal, I guess. But it's like fire in a movie theater. You know, there's certain things that are not moral. And I don't know why we live by real laws and don't live by bigger laws like being immoral and treating people. You know, you're acting in a way that will hurt people substantially. You know, and I don't think you have a moral right to do that. And that's what people are doing now. And it is so. I mean, look at FEMA has to come out with a website that describes what's wrong about all these things that people are saying. So if you go to, I have it here, it's FEMA.gov and FEMA, FEMA.gov, and look for rumor, RUMOR, dash response. So I'm sure if you Google FEMA.org, rumor response, you'll see that the website there that attacks all these not nonsensical things. I mean, the government has plenty of money. It can go down the basement and print more when it wants. We're here to help each other, aren't we? Are we here to cause pain for each other unnecessarily? Are we here to just I mean, it just, we're not, and that's not a community I think any of us want to live in, where people wake up in the morning and how can I screw over my neighbor? No, how can you help your neighbor? That's what it's about, and that's why a lot of these people, I don't know what their religions are, but I don't know any religion that I'm certainly not a historian of religions, but I did a pamphlet for Congress during the first Gulf War, the Iraq War, about what every religion says about going to war. None of them. None of them do it. I mean, Christianity did it, but then there's rules. There's rules of a just war, the Christian, because I think it was Constantine or whatever wanted to go to war, and so we got a bunch of smart people together and figure out how I can make it legal to go to war. But Christianity, you couldn't. You couldn't even wear a uniform or anything like that. And he figured out, got smart people together, like we do here, I guess. How can we make immorality legal? So, if it's legal, it doesn't mean it's not immoral. And we live by legal. I mean, you see these things on the internet where you buy something from somebody, and particularly financial services industry, you have 15 pages of small print about how what you have agreed to. Nobody's going to read in that. And would you give your mother, if you lend your mother $100, would you make her sign 15 pages? No, we're just want to be mean and make immorality legal. That's what we're good at. Maybe that's what Congress does. That should be the other way around, right? They should make it not illegal. Well, here are the items here about FEMA, the rumors that are false. And it said in most cases, it says FEMA only provides loans to disaster survivors. Absolutely wrong. 90% of the money they give out, there are some loans, but again, the loans are very small interest rates, and they can be forgiven a lot easier than if you go to the banks or whatever. So the best loans you'll ever get in America is a government loan. But most of FEMA money, like the $750 everybody gets, that's all free. I just did an analysis a couple of weeks ago of how the average grant that FEMA people get who are survivors is $20,000 a grant that they don't have to pay back. That's to fix up their home, fix up their car, live somewhere while their house is screwed up. All these things, mental care, dental care, health care, all that kind of stuff is covered. Baby formula, everything you need, diapers, everything, and that's available. That's what our community is to help each other. And then he said, there's another rumor, applying multiple times for disaster assistance will speed up the process. No, it won't. And it'll just screw things up. So you want to know about the process of getting this, you go to disasterassistance.gov, disasterassistance.gov, and here's the 800 number, 800-621-3362, 800-621-3362, okay? And you want to, now I lost my space. Where is it? So you just call them and make sure. So you don't forget, anybody on the internet you can't trust. I mean, you can't. I mean, it's things now. So don't trust anything, any internet that ends with .com. And all you want to go to is .gov or .org. And that's org is nonprofit organizations. They're there to help you, not to get money from you. .coms are trying to get money from you or have a political thing that will help them for some reason. So in time of emergency or whatever, you stay away from them and just go to .gov or .org. Okay. FAA, it says, is restricting access to airspace for Helena. That's absolutely wrong. Call the FAA and you'll see they're wrong. People can, local officials can helicopter in and get you if you're in trouble. So don't think you can't do that. FEMA distributes based on geographic characteristics, like your religion or sexual origin or color, or race, all that kind of, no, they can't. That's illegal. FEMA is in the process of confiscating survivor property. No, if your property is unlivable, no, it's still your property. FEMA's not taking any property from anybody. They're just checking out if it's livable. I mean, you want that. You want somebody to say, hey, don't go in there. You're going to kill yourself. That's all they do. So it's not, but see, that's what I mean. The people who are the immoral people are telling you lies like this just to provide, I don't know why, what their motive is. They're just unhappy people probably, basically, but that's hurtful and that's immoral, and they should not be doing that. Then it says FEMA does not have enough money for disaster assistance, like Helene, and that's not true. They have plenty of money, and they'll print more as soon as it's needed. So never worry about that. You have to apply, and that's the important thing. So disasterassistance.gov is what you have to get to, and don't stop doing that, okay? Even about help after the disaster, and don't forget there's more. Disaster assistance is just one part. There's more help. Disaster assistance. FEMA just has a handful of programs, 4, 5, 6 programs. You could go into go findhelp.org, put in your zip code. I'm going to put in mine 009, and I haven't done this before, so I may look like an idiot. Disaster assistance. Disaster response. Okay. I got 19 programs where I live that help with disaster response. So instead of FEMA, you have disasterresponse.gov. Here are 19 other programs that are local where I live that help with disaster response. So if for some reason you can't get relief from FEMA, you go to the 19 other places where you live that help you with disaster response. There's so much help out there, and so but people don't realize it because they, who knows? I mean, and it's the government haters. You can hate the government, that's fine, but you can't, tell people they don't have help out there and cause them heart and pain and maybe even death. So it's the responsibility on the people who are these government haters that are saying there's no help. My family would be in deep doo-doo, and I probably wouldn't be able to finish college if it wasn't for government programs when my family got wiped out by a flood. And that's very important for everybody in America to know that. The government has programs for a reason. You may not like it, fine. You could do something. The only way you could do something about that is through your elected official, okay? And that's a way. But don't stop people from using things that is going to improve their life. And there's so many programs like this. And the hypocrisy of all this, the people who complain about the government most are the rich people who get more from the government than anybody else in the world. And that's why I think the rich people want certain parties to win, because they're going to give them more money, more of the treasury going back to rich people. The rich people are becoming richer, and the average person can't help you. And I think maybe Ronald Reagan started that. I'm from the government, I'm here to help you. Well, that's true now with a hurricane. Where else are you going to get it? Your neighbor? No, they're screwed too. And so there's very few other places you could go for this help. And it's grants, you don't have to pay back. And remember, so if assistance from FEMA is not available, then go to findhelp.org. findhelp.org. Okay, you want to go there and then put in your zip code and put disaster assistance. And where I live, there's 19, 20 more programs, to help with disaster. Any grant from New York? Yes, absolutely. I want to buy a laundromat. You want to buy a laundromat in New Jersey or New York? Okay, you go to sba.gov/local-assistance, sba.gov/local-assistance. Put in your zip code, and you'll find 20, 30 organizations where you live that are nonprofit mentors to help you start a business. That's what you want to do. You don't want to look for money. You want to look for mentors that help you find money and everything else you need to start a business. They'll sit down with you for free, help you dissolve a plan, and you don't need money to do this, okay? There's other ways to do this. So you need help to get that creativity, to find other ways to do this. And it's out there, but you're not gonna find it in Google. Google will just show you ways to spend money. If you want if you want to solve your problem without spending money, you have to only go to websites that end in .gov or .org. All the .coms are there to get money from you. And if you don't have money, you're just going to be worse off, because they're going to want to get money from you and you don't have it, and you borrow it and get worse off than you are now. You don't want to do that. The other thing you should do, no matter who you are and don't have a lot of money, is make an appointment right now with a free financial counselor. Where do you find them? You find them at hud.gov/counseling. And that's, don't put any capitals in counseling. counseling. hud.gov/counseling. Make an appointment with a free counselor. They're there for everybody, okay? And particularly low income, they'll help you get rid of some of your debt, show you programs and things like that. Don't pay me money. If another way not to pay me money is get help, I have a free report we will send you. It's called, you go to this website, trylesco.com. trylesco.com. If you want to give me money, $20, a subscription for lescohelp.com. But for a free report to get you started without spending money, try trylesco.com. So that's important to know about and to take advantage of, because all these programs are there whether you use it or not. And if you're going to live by the internet and believe in all this crap that's out there about people saying to you how terrible the government is, yeah, parts of it is terrible. Parts of me are terrible. Parts of all of us are terrible. And we should be vigilant of that and try to change it. But there's a shitload that's wonderful too. Like with all of us, no matter how bad parts of us are, there's good parts too. Can you repeat the site, Jacqueline? Yeah. It's lesco, lesco.com. lesco.com. And the other one was lescohelp.com. Oh, but you're a member. You don't need that. You want the site for FEMA, okay? So disasterassistance.com. Disasterassistance.gov. No .coms here, okay? Disasterassistance.gov. And if you go to FEMA, the report, I think I have it in the beginning, the report for the FEMA scams, the rumor response that FEMA has. Here it is again. I'll put it for members in the chat here about, here it is, okay. There's about the lies that are on the internet now about FEMA, okay? Hurricane rumor response, okay? Can you repeat the site? You froze on my phone. Ooh, It must be cold out there if I froze. And don't freeze me, Mom. But the help is out there. It may be not where you think it is. It may take some work to get to the help. And that's what you have to realize. It's not like people, if you're paying money to people, it's usually easier to get the help. If you're not paying money to people, you have to do a little more work on your side to make sure you get what's available. And that's what Let's Go Help is about. But even if you don't have me, make sure you go to findhelp.org and use all the free help that's there. Okay, a lot of these organizations will do what I do, but they won't charge you. I'm going to charge you. Okay, so that's important. Okay, my voice is going down. Let me hang up now and let you know that there's a lot of help out there. It's just not where you think it, and stay away from Google, please. There's just too much bad shit out there that you can't mine. It's a minefield. And if the way to go through it at all is don't contact anybody who is a .com. Only contact people who are .gov or .org. That's a good rule of thumb to start. Maybe there are .coms that will give you free stuff, but it's not worth trying, okay? There are too many sharks in those waters, so beware of the sharks.